how are you going to drink out of this?
They're super logical all the time, and yet they're just throwing bigotry around. What?
They have a checklist.
Yep.
So let's see what it is.
So April O'Neil. That's from Teenage Mutant
Don't cut it.
Turtles.
Keep it going.
This is so dangerous. These are weapons of war.
Why is that a problem? Is it?
It's
You're
clearly
saying it's a
damaged.
problem that they're out there?
No. Well, okay,
Oh.
that's a problem. But it's clearly damaged.
Today we're reviewing Star Trek: Strange New Worlds, Season 1, Episode 6 or 5. Strange New Worlds, Episode 5. Tell me what happened.
We kick off the episode with Spock spooking himself by fighting himself by himself in a dream.
The Enterprise is in space dock after the encounter with the Gorn.
Pike begins diplomacy with the Rongovians.
Una and La'an decide to do Enterprise bingo, and they have fun doing it.
Oh, yeah. And T'Pring and Spock body swap. Freaky Friday. What?
Freaky Friday body swap. There's good cop and bad cop for Una and La'an.
Oh, yeah. And then Luna and La'an are actually playing Enterprise bingo. We see some shenanigans.
Super fun. And then Spock and T'Pring undo their body swap.
Mm-hmm. And Spock and Nurse Chapel do some flirty stuff.
Little flirty.
Sort of. It was interesting.
Mm-hmm. And then Admiral April, Captain Pike, and Lieutenant Uhura do some very depth negotiations with the Rongovians.
Oh, yeah. And Una and La'an sign the oldest panel for good luck on the outside of the ship.
And at the very end, Nurse Chapel has a little secret.
Oh, yeah.
We'll find out later. What was your opinion of this episode?
Today's episode, Season 1, Episode 5, I give it a 6 out of 10. Great episode for me, but not like the best ever. So to me, that's a 6 out of 10. Some goods. There was cool character development for the crew. After the harrowing experience with the Gorn, it was nice to get some chill time and see some character development for the audience. As always, the production values are through the roof. Always good with Strange New Worlds. The acting was great. We got to see some cool diplomacy that didn't involve like war, which was nice.
That's true.
Yeah. Una and La'an having fun was super fun.
Super fun.
Yeah. Pike doing some fly by the seat of the pants diplomacy was pretty cool because he had to deal with the body switch. Like, what the world?
Mm-hmm.
T'Pring and Spock getting to know each other was pretty good as well. And I liked that actually nothing much happened except some character development. That was good. But on the flip side, nothing much happened in this episode, which I don't know how I feel about it. To me, it's could be good, could be bad. Another bad was that the body switch felt a little too magical. Freaky Friday. Like, is this Star Trek or is this, I don't know, some sort of comedy? I don't know. It felt a little bit too much for me. Also, the Vulcan bigotry feels, I don't know, out of place. Like, they're supposed to be logical. Why they run around with bigots? Unlike the humans.
Okay.
What's that about?
I see it.
So overall, it's a solid episode for me. That's a 6 out of 10. What did you think?
I gave it 8 out of 10. Super fun. So super fun, especially after that interaction with the Gorn, with like it was life-threatening all the time. You need a little relief. And this episode fulfilled that nicely. Also, in terms of science, the scientific kernel was that the crew needed some fun after fighting with the Gorn. And yeah, they did that. They had fun. So sci-fi achieved. Heavy tension in the season, followed by silly shit. Heck yes, I'm down for this. Body swap, like classic sci-fi silly shit. Like heck yes, and Hemmer, like barely any Hemmer in this episode. Like I'm happy with this. Plus love triangle. We've introduced a love triangle between T'Pring, Spock, and Christine. Like the drama, just I see it building up. Unrequited love because Christine knows that Spock is with T'Pring. Oh, the drama! This series is just dripping with it. And Spock has this like spur charisma to him. It's the ultimate fantasy where he's like, I'm here to do science. I'm nothing but logical. And then Nish Chapel's like, ooh, you're so cute. Like, what a nerd fantasy. This is amazing. The cons. Vulcans no longer make sense to me. They're supposed to be this hyper logical species, but then they do magic stuff. But maybe we here at Semi-Stable Universe have figured out some lore that nobody else has yet. So overall, a fantastic episode, super light, super fun. Would recommend this to a new viewer.
I have this question about Spock. Why aren't his ears more rounded, half pointy? Why are they completely pointy? Isn't he half human? What's the deal?
What do you mean? Why's that a problem? They're like kind of pointy.
Well, aren't his ears? So there's Vulcan ears, which are full point, and there are human ears, which are rounded. Shouldn't
Oh,
he
you're
be
talking
a
about the
combination?
top,
Yeah,
the top part. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, these look full pointy.
they look full pointy. So he's supposed to be half, which that's a whole other can of worms about how are Vulcans and humans able to mate when they have these totally different evolutionary trees. Which I guess in Star Trek: The Next Generation, we learned that there's some kind of genetic code that was seeded by some ancient people. But still, how are we have these here? And then, if he is half, shouldn't it be somewhere in the middle? Meaning,
Oh, I
half
see.
pointy
Instead of being full pointy, they're like a little bit rounded, but they're still clearly not quite human.
Right.
I see what you're asking. I guess, okay, my answer to this off the cuff here is that genetics is complicated. And so there are instances where you would get when if their options are full point and full round, you get the middle. But there are also sometimes, even with siblings, where the siblings look very much like one parent and not so much like the other. I've seen this with when I went to college. There was these two brothers, and they were separated by years, but one looked very Chinese. The other guy looked very white, but you could tell they were brothers, but they also looked very not quite. How do I say this?
Yeah,
it's not straightforward. Yeah,
but at the same time, if when that happens, because genetics is weird and it shows up in appearance, but not in liver function, this kind of like you don't see the liver function, but you see the appearance. It's still it's like a continuum, and nobody who's half is pure. Oh gosh.
Oh, wait.
Not the best way to say it.
Wait, phrase that differently. Try again. Phrase that differently.
But I mean, that's what I mean. They're not pure. Like they it's in between two different.
I see what you're saying.
Two different purities, right?
Right.
So.
Right. So in one extreme where pure is Vulcan, and the other one where pure is human, whatever that means, right? People are usually mixed somehow.
Yeah. So what you're saying is like, okay, so the genetics was so that like the pointy ear showed up completely for Spock. But if we looked at, I don't know, his nose, it's halfway in between, but that's indiscernible because it's the same.
Right. Like this could be like a fully human. Actually, this could be a fully human nose. It's just that human and Vulcan noses look the same.
Right. And like,
or it could be mixed.
And then the full human part is like Dick. He's huge. But then Vulcans have, okay.
Yep. It could be. Yeah.
Pring is probably like, this is why I chose Spock.
She's like, I'm willing
to
take all that
where it counts.
Where it counts, right? She's like, I'm willing to have all my friends hate me. He's like, but they don't know. They don't know what it's like. I need that dick.
I mean, we've never seen nudity in Star Trek, so
that's right.
It could happen.
And maybe that's why all the captains and the first officers from every Star Trek series are just sleeping around the universe. Maybe because we got that swing.
That swing, yeah, swinging heavy.
Vulcans don't make sense to me anymore. These are Spock's cups. They look like whiskey cups, but they got these pointy glass things. Let's listen to what Vulcan guy says.
What would you know of logic? You are a human, ruled by emotion.
No. Well, I have agreed to assist the captain with the diplomatic matter.
These are clearly Spock's cups. And he's like, humans are bad. You're ruled by emotions, not like us Vulcans. Vulcans are logical. But how are you going to drink out of this?
Makes no sense. Like, is there a spout on one of the extensions? What is going on?
No, it's not like a sippy cup. I mean, imagine adult sippy cups are Vulcans. Yeah, like you could like put your mouth around this tip here, and if there's a possibility that the liquid like perfectly rolls down this diving board of a little edge here, but probably it spills out the edge all over your shirt. Or you drink from the far side, and then these little crystals like poke you in the eye. Like that's illogical. Yeah. Why would you drink like this?
Makes no sense. Okay, it could be a sippy cup. There's a little spout. Yeah, there's a little siphon that goes up to one of those with a little opening.
Drink real slowly, like.
Oh,
you mean there's a hole in the middle?
Yeah. It's like a straw.
Oh, okay. Just everyone, all the Vulcans like little.
I mean, I love sippy cups. I mean, okay, if you have a
What?
gym bottle with a straw in it,
Okay.
and then you flip that thing up, and is that a sippy cup or is that an adult sippy
shit.
cup?
I see what you're saying. Like a shaker bottle, you pop it open.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's an adult sippy cup.
adult sippy cup.
That's a sippy cup. Okay.
I got a reason here. Just popped into my head.
Okay.
What if these cups? It takes a lot of practice to drink out of them. Like you have to do the right technique, and you just have to do it just right. So
Okay.
if it's presented to a spy, the spy is like, "What
Fumbling
do I
around.
do?" Yeah, and if he fumbles, got him.
Spy! Assassinate! Okay, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Look, T'Pring is handling this. These are T'Pring's hands. And there's clearly some smudgy stuff going on. Wait. Look at this smudge. Look at this smudge. If I was a Vulcan, I won't want very practical cups, very practical glassware. I don't want to be cleaning them all the time. This sucks.
That's right. Because you're expecting clean cups, no sponges all the time. I have these crystal cups with like multiple levels and edges everywhere. The upkeep on these things, it's just
Is illogical.
What a pain. Ah.
I guess. Okay. Now you've got me thinking outside the box. Maybe this does make sense. Like if here's like a parabola effectively, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so if you put you like jam your mouth down to here, then that parabola hugs your cheeks and keeps the liquid from falling down off the side.
Okay, so you like
You get a
deep
little
throat the
like
cup,
milk.
you like,
Yep, there it is. Yep.
and then
Okay.
and you drink, and
Yep.
it all flows into your mouth.
No, I mean you put your mouth on the inside, not on the outside of the cup. You're not deep throating the cup. You're not going to do the whole thing. You're sliding your mouth in here.
That's right.
You just have to deal with these sharp corners in your cheeks. But maybe that tells you where to go.
It's so okay. So you the edge of the cup comes in, and like
The sides.
the crystals are like in your eyes, but not touching.
No. This point here,
Mm-hmm.
you put your mouth on the near side. So this cup
So-
it like sits on the bottom of your jaw.
So
So it make sure that water can't fall off the sides.
Yeah. So those are here, right?
Yeah.
But then there is like they're not as near your
Not
eyes
as deep on the
these
far
parts,
side.
but like there is crystal, like sharpie things like
Yeah.
near your
Definitely
eyes.
like sitting only. Don't walk around while drinking this.
yeah.
You end up if you're like drinking milk, you get like a milk beard.
Mhm.
But it stops things from spilling lower.
But it's not like it's like form fitting to the jaw. It's like
Oh no, it's not.
Jagged.
It's extremely painful. Look at this crystalline sharp edge. Extremely painful.
it's, what's wrong with cups? With
Just get a
regular
normal cup.
brims.
Normal. Yeah. This is the T'Pring's hands. Oh yeah. Here's the smudge. Look at that.
It's
I mean, the logical thing
clean.
to do would be to have a textured glass that doesn't get all these fingerprints. You don't got to have like a servant cleaning them all the time. What are we doing?
That's right. Yeah, it makes no sense.
Come on, Vulcans.
Vulcans. Another thing doesn't make sense about Vulcans. They're super logical all the time, and yet they're just throwing bigotry around? What?
This room they have given us seems very human. It is hard to imagine that a Vulcan has slept in here. I am concerned that your time in Starfleet may be causing you to behave in a manner so human.
It is one thing to see strength and emotion.
Hey.
It is another thing entirely to marry a half-human. You defend Vulcan ideals with one hand, insult them with the other.
Wait, why is that bigotry?
Okay, so Spock is serving Starfleet on a primarily human ship.
Mm-hmm,
And T'Pring is like, this is a human room. I can't believe a Vulcan would sleep in here. Like, what's with the... Yeah, it's a human room. It's a human ship. Like, what?
Yeah. And why even you got to label it like that?
Yeah. And, like, if he slept in here, in the human room, like, he's not... It's a room. Like, does it... Is he just bigoted against humans? Like, you're not allowed to sleep in a human room? They're so beneath you? Like, what is this?
Yeah, and there's like constantly condescension from the Vulcans onto the humans.
Yeah. And then T'Pring is like, Spock, you're acting a little too human. Like, he's serving on a human ship. He's half human. Like, if you're
why
not
is that even a
open
bad
to,
thing?
yeah, if you're open to marrying a half human, half Vulcan, oh, and some humanness is spilling out, like, you need to reconsider to Pring. Like, what is going on?
That's the guy you chose. Stand
Yeah.
by your man.
And then the criminal guy is like, you're disrespecting Vulcan by marrying a half human. Right, what?
That's just straight up bigotry. And he's
That's
like casual and open about it in the public.
Right.
Actually, isn't this against Federation ideals? Why is it okay?
Right. I feel like if a prospective, I don't know, planet or society wanted to join the Federation and they saw this bigotry in their society widespread, they'd be like, I don't know if your application is going to be accepted. You've got social problems, right?
Oh gosh, I was thinking about it from the other perspective. I was thinking about it as if I was trying to join the Federation, and then I saw like Vulcans, one of the founding members, going around just being shitting on humans. Like, ooh, do I want to be a part of this? Because I'm going to be even newer, and I'm going to be lower on the totem pole. They're going to shit on me all the time. Maybe not.
Oh, that's right. There's also like, oh, here's the Federation ideals listed out, and here's hypocrisy. Maybe I should reconsider if the written ideals match the ideals
the real
that are
rules,
put forth.
like what people are actually living.
Yeah.
No, thank you. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, are the seams of the Federation coming apart?
Yeah, seriously.
This greeting is illogical. The Vulcans are constantly talking about how logical they are, but then they do this romantic greeting that's just nonsense. It's just nonsense.
Spock, parted from me and never parted. Never and always touching and touched.
To Pring, parted from me and never parted. Never and always touching and touched.
Spock.
So what's wrong with that?
It's literally illogical. They're saying we're parted and we're never parted. We're touching and we're never touching. Like that's by definition A and not A.
Oh, I see. So it's some like romantic, figurative saying that a human saying would be like, cool, like I like that emotion. But Vulcans wouldn't say that because it doesn't make no sense.
That's right. This is literally an emotional greeting because you're saying like I'm so crazy, I'm so love driven by you that we're parted and we're never parted. I'm going to say crazy things because that's how much I care about you. But then, which is fine. That's in fact super romantic. But then don't be like we're the illogical species. You're not. You're saying trash. What is this?
That's right. So they should say a greeting like "I missed you," or
Yeah,
"We were away and I felt feelings for you," but like describe what's going on.
right. It would also be romantic if they had said we haven't seen each other in a long time and I missed you a lot. I missed you a whole lot. Yeah, ain't nothing illogical about that.
But as soon as you start using flowery language and you start exaggerating and it's like metaphors, it's like, what are we doing here?
In this case, it's not flowery. It's not metaphor. I guess it is metaphor. It's not exaggeration. It's literally A and not A. It's literally the sun is up and the sun is down. Can't be both.
Yeah. There's two contradictory things that cannot be both true at the same time. It's literally illogical. What the
Literally
heck?
illogical.
T'Pring has an idea to reform criminals with logic. Is that realistic?
Rehabilitate those who have committed crimes by showing them the true path of Vulcan logic. Rehabilitate those who have...
Seems okay. Seems okay. What's the objection?
Okay, so you got Vulcan criminals who are doing criminal activity. They have been growing up on Vulcan, just surrounded by the ideals of logic the whole time, and it didn't stick. And T'Pring's solution is, if they had just seen logic, what? They've been surrounded by this idea their whole life, and I'll give it one last go, and I'll get it. Like, what?
I see what you're saying. So like, ever since they were children, they're surrounded by the Vulcan culture. The Vulcan culture is constantly telling them, be logical, don't be emotional, be logical all the time. But they chose to be criminals anyway, or for whatever reason, chose or not chose, they were criminals anyway. And T'Pring's idea is like, well, if I just sit them down and have a heart to heart and like tell them about the logic, they'll be logical.
Right. It's like trying the same thing again one last time. But it didn't work. Isn't the problem something else? Is this...
I will say that sometimes the logic for the individual does not match the logic of society. And so maybe that's what
Okay.
she means. She's like, if I can sit them down and tell them like the big picture logic, and that's why what they did before was wrong. Maybe that's what she's saying. I guess to make it concrete, what I'm saying is, would you steal bread for your family, even though society-wide, like, you don't want theft, you don't want stealing, messes things up?
I see what you're saying, but doesn't that mean that Vulcan society has problems?
Sure
Like,
does.
If the person who grew up in Vulcan society is a criminal, hasn't seen like this bigger picture, sacrifice myself for the many, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, tragedy of the commons, all these ideas haven't been taught to them. One last time, is it going to help? I mean, they missed that class, they slept
Right.
in, like what?
They slept through. Yeah, they missed the education. The educational system failed them.
That would be like, I don't know how to add 2 + 2 because I slept in second grade that one time. It'd be like, let's give him one
Worse
last
than that.
shot at
Worse
that
than, worse than
addition.
that. I don't know how to do 2 + 2 because I slept through like the entire elementary, middle school, high school chain, because they came out as an adult and was criminal.
That's right. So that's the joke. You can't slip. Addition is taught again and again, and it comes up again and again all through school. So I can't sleep through one single class and miss it. Like, I'd have to drop out.
But that is what the Prings saying. Like, this guy just missed a lesson. I can just sit him down one time, talk him out.
I don't think it's realistic.
Illogical.
Yep.
I was fighting.
Okay, I can't make fun of you coughing because I've been have cough machine for the past couple weeks.
You have a cough machine? I mean, talk
No, I
about
have a gag
outsourcing.
machine.
You can do that yourself. Oh, okay.
So April O'Neil. That's from Teenage Mutant
Don't cut it.
Turtles.
Keep it going.
Yeah, General O'Neil. Admiral
Nope.
O'Neil? Admiral
Yep.
O'Neil is talking about the Rongovian situation, and he shows this
Okay.
map. Can we take a look at the map and see, I don't know, the borders and what the situation is with the Federation?
Oh,
We
I
can
see.
zoom in
Okay.
there.
So
It's a little blurry.
Blurry. What we got to work with?
So the
it looks like-
Rongovians are yellow.
yeah, there it is. The Rongovian Protectorate.
Yeah.
That's Rongovia, and maybe they have a couple other planets there, but I guess they're not big enough to worry about.
Yeah.
Sure.
And it looks like they're like stuck in between the Klingons there. And I guess the green
Klingons.
is the Romulans.
Oh wait, so I think this green or teal or aqua, I don't know what this color is. This blue is Federation. Is there
Federation.
Starbase 2, 3, 4, Starbase, I don't know, 8 something like that.
Mm-hmm.
There's this 1,
Agreed.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Maybe these are
Yeah.
listening posts
Listening
because
posts,
they're not,
they're
not
like
Starbase, but
they're clearly in Federation territory on the
Mhm.
Federation side of the green-blue dotted line,
great.
and looks like
They're
monitoring
not
stations.
planets. The planets are spheres.
Yeah.
So monitoring stations, I guess.
Mhm.
And then
And
red
if-
side,
Klingons.
Memphis sector. Okay, well,
Yeah. Okay.
Klingon symbols.
So I'm seeing Federation is the teal.
Yep.
Klingons are red, and in between the Klingons and the Federation are 2 dotted lines. I think one is the actual border, and a white line is maybe like a buffer border that's like, if anything comes in here, we pay attention. Something like that. It's not a buffer zone. It's not a neutral zone because there's Klingon bases clearly in that.
Right. So it's
So
like
that
if we
must be-
see a fleet crossing here, like crossing this line, then Starfleet's like, ooh, something might happen soon.
Right.
But if they see a fleet traveling back here, like, oh, whatever.
Yeah. And then weirdly, a Klingon planet is
Or
on the.
this could be the sensor range.
Oh,
Right.
that's true. That could be the
This
sensor
is how far
range.
we could. Okay. Oh yeah, weirdly, go ahead. Is this?
Yeah,
one, right?
weirdly, that what is going on there. That is inside the Federation territory, it looks like.
Gamma Ericon. Like, yeah, definitely across this line.
You gotta take that out. Not cool.
Yeah, not cool.
But I think the
What's
green, there's only one green planet there, and it looks like
Yep.
the Romulans. And I see 2 borders again, and it's labeled zone with some
Zone.
letters trailing off. That must be the neutral zone.
I think so. Neutral zone between Federation and I guess the Ramis.
Yeah. And then the Rongovians are stuck.
Oh boy, that's
between
triangled.
Romulus. Yeah. And then the Federation with this little tendril and the Klingons.
Mm-hmm.
So they're in a tough spot. So that's why they're doing the
Gosh.
negotiations.
So if you're Rongovian, your options are to join the Klingons, who are almost surrounding you,
Mm-hmm.
or the Romulans, who has a pretty big angle here,
Mm-hmm.
or the Federation, who's like barely touching you through this precarious like peninsula, right?
Yeah.
But on the other hand, they have all this stuff, so looks powerful. But also, I'm like, I would be on an outreach there.
I guess also there is, if you were in Klingons, you became part of the Klingon Empire or you became part of the Romulan Star Empire, you
I
would
don't know what
be
word it
a
is.
second-class citizen.
Oh, absolutely.
Whereas if you became a member of the Federation, you're one of equals, which is a big bonus.
I mean, so far as you know, right? Because this is negotiations. The
It's true.
ideals of the Federation, like who knows what that actually works like.
I mean, that's true. There's always, but I would imagine that in Klingon, the Klingon Constitution or whatever.
Oh, they don't even hide it.
piece of-
Yeah.
They don't even hide it. They're like, you're a second-class citizen for sure. At least the Federation
Right.
is like trying to make everybody one amongst equals.
That's true.
So yeah, it's kind of cool to see visually on the map why the negotiations are super important.
Yeah,
Mhm.
really, really tells you why. Yeah, otherwise, like, why is Pike talking to the Mongovians? They could be like a nobody in here. Like, who cares?
Nobody, or like on the other side, and there's no border.
It's like
Yeah, who
it's nice
cares?
to have allies, but this is real
Yeah.
strategic.
Yeah, so we got to make this happen.
Mm.
Which is why the flagship is there. Which is why Pike, one of the big negotiators, is there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right there.
Really cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
So we see the first interaction between Pike and the Rongovian ambassador. And on the first watch, it doesn't make sense. But then when you watch it a second time, you understand why he does this smiley, snarly stuff.
Well, if I'd known you were coming early, I could have cooked you up an Earth specialty.
Captain Pike, the pleasure is mine.
Like you think that he's trying to read Pike and figure him out, which I guess he is. But then later in the episode, you find out that the Rongovian negotiation style is to mirror the negotiating tactics of whatever the host people are doing. So Pike makes a joke, and so then the Rongovian ambassador is like, I should also make a joke. Right? Did I interpret
Yeah.
that correctly?
I think so.
My
I see what you're saying.
follow-up
Okay.
question is, how does negotiation work internally to Rongovian society? Because if they have a reciprocal mirror thing, then isn't it just the quick shot, like quick draw to an emotional reaction? Because if say these two guys are talking out, they had an argument about, I don't know, who takes out the trash or like where their fence should be between the two homes.
Mm-hmm.
If this guy goes with anger, then this guy's got to go with anger. And then now that this guy's going with anger, this guy's got to go with anger. Or if they want to do funny stuff, and it's like funny stuff. How do you ever exit that loop?
There's like a positive feedback loop. Whoever kicks off the emotion, it just snowballs into this like,
That's
if
what
it's
it's gonna be.
laughter, it like raucous laughter. Starts with anger, they like get into a fist fight.
Yep.
Maybe if you look at Rongovian children, they're just like flying off the handle all the time. And then as they grow up, they like learn how to turn it off or something. And that's like what maturity means in Rongovian society, because they're always like on the edge of.
They learn how to match but not escalate,
Yes.
and that's like maturing. Whereas kids, they're
Maturing.
like match and then like climb.
Right. Man, that would be tough to be a parent if like they walk into a room and everybody's sad and it's just like this child's sad all the time now. And then they walk into a room and it's, raucous laughter and the kid is just running around the room being silly and it's like, I need you to
Like, I need you to calm down right now. We'll settle it out.
And then he's like, oh, you want me to be calm? And then he like immediately is like zen. It's like,
Too calm.
it's like,
have a little bit of life,
meditate.
kid.
yeah, dial it in. But that could be because they said they're like super empaths,
Mhm.
so that would be hard to handle.
Gosh, and if like somebody they like lose their dog, and then so they're appropriately sad. And then everyone else around them's like, well, here's our next several months. Like we're on the tank too. Or if they lose their dog and they like want to be sad, but then their friends are having fun. So he's like, I guess I have to have fun now, but I'm trying to like feel bad about my dog, like, but I can't.
Yeah,
I'm
mental
having fun.
distance.
Like,
That would be weird. Weird society.
Also-
Interesting idea.
how it works for them.
So Una got a nickname from the crew. I don't think it's a nickname.
The nickname. I should probably go.
What nickname?
I can't remember.
Where fun goes to die. It's stupid. The yeomen don't know what they're talking about. If they did, they wouldn't be yeomen.
The nickname.
Wait. So Ortega says it's where fun goes to die. That's Una's nickname.
That's not a nickname. That's not a nickname. I can't be like
What do
some
you mean?
guys
What do you
playing
mean?
basketball on the basketball court. It's like, hey, guy who plays basketball. Like, what? That's not,
Oh.
that's not a nickname.
Yeah, that's right. That's not a nickname. You're just describing what happens.
Right. So the nickname has
Like
to
pilot.
be something like, Tyrant Chin Riley or something, where it's like, gotta be strict. It's
A little wordplay, a little silly stuff. Yeah. You can't just be looking at a pilot and you're like, hey, guy that flies planes. Like that's just what he does.
Yeah. Hey, Captain. He's guy who captains ship. Like, that's
Correct. That's what it is. Correct.
That's what he is. And where fun goes to die, that's Una Chin Riley.
That's just a
But
description.
it's a description. That's not a nickname.
If it
In
was
the
like
crew-
fun killer, that would be a
Yeah.
nickname.
Yeah.
Fun obliterator.
Yeah. I'm disappointed in the crew for not coming up with something a little bit more fun. Maybe
Heck,
the
they could've-
crew is where fun goes to die because they can't come up with real nicknames.
Can't come up with a real nickname. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Discipline mommy. I would also be okay with that
Okay.
because she's like the
that's
mommy of the ship, and then she's like strict about it. Yeah. Discipline mommy. I like it.
Discipline mommy. Nurse Chapel says relationships should come before duty. I disagree completely.
Spock. Clearly an extraordinarily intelligent person.
Thank you.
But you're also an idiot. You told her you were going to be home for dinner, and then you weren't.
I found myself in an impossible circumstance.
You're supposed to put her ahead of your duties. It's what being in a relationship is. It's mutual sacrifice. Pretty much why I avoid them.
I think that's right. Sometimes.
So there's a planet, the Rongovians,
Mm-hmm.
who is stuck in between the Federation, the Klingons, and the Romulan Empire in a strategically very important position.
Mm-hmm.
And Spock is on the flagship trying to be a part of the negotiations to bring them into the fold of the Federation. And what is he supposed to do? Go to dinner with his fiancée? Sorry, there are bigger fish to fry here. This is ridiculous. Like,
Yeah,
why did we lose that planet? Well, because my first officer had a dinner.
Okay.
The leadership's like, what the hell is going on? What? No.
Okay. I see what you're saying, but there are times where it does make sense. Like if his fiance to Pring was dying and he just didn't need to be at Science Station 3 or whatever, like that's okay.
Yeah, I think there's some amount where it's okay. So what if it was he had a lunch date with T'Pring,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
and there was an airlock emergency in the Enterprise.
Mm-hmm.
You need to go take care of it. Does he go to lunch or does he go take care of the airlock emergency?
Okay, assuming that there's nobody else that can handle the airlock emergency, and if he doesn't handle it, then everyone else is going to die. Then it's that, or gosh, how scary is T'Pring? She can be real strict.
That's
Sometimes
true.
you got to go hang out with T'Pring.
Okay. What if it's breakfast? He's on duty at 9,
Uh-huh.
and they're having breakfast at 8. Captain comes on the horn. Battle stations.
Ooh,
And
this
Pring's
is
like,
that's a hard one for me.
What the heck? We're having breakfast.
This is a hard one for me because breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Like, is he going to be battle ready if he's also grumbly tummy, not thinking straight?
So he should ignore the orders for battle stations and have breakfast because you need to have You need to be fully caloried up.
Gosh, is there a way he can do both? Like take the plate and like walk and eat?
Yeah, but he got walk and eat with T'Pring.
Sure. I mean, it's now on her to walk and talk with me. I got to go to the battle stations. She can come.
Well, no, you got to put her first. It's about mutual sacrifice.
Okay.
So you sit there and eat your breakfast until 9, because that's when she said the schedule said 9, and battle stations, it's irrelevant. The ship can wait. The battle can wait.
Okay, how can I make this work? Okay. Okay, put her first, literally physically first. You pick her up so she's in front of you, and then you give her the plate and she feeds you as you walk. That's also romantic.
It's also romantic. Okay. What if they have a phone call?
Okay.
Or whatever, communicator call at 10:15 in the morning just to check in. Okay, and the Klingons have just fired a photon torpedo, and you got to be at your station. Should he make sure he gets on the call? Because she comes first.
Can he do both? Is there a way? To make that?
You're gonna have distracted defense.
You can't do that. Yeah. He's like Captain. The shields are there, and then in one ear, T'Pring's like, I think we should go here for the weekend. Like,
yeah, what's going on? How are you feeling today? How's your day going? It's too absurd. This is too absurd. There's no way Nurse Chapel is right here. Duty for almost always.
Right.
Okay, not all. It's a balancing act, but duty often comes first before family, friends, relationships, because that's what duty means, right?
There are lives on the line, or there could be lives on the line. There could be like interplanetary politics on the line, or even if there wasn't, you signed up for the duty. You need a functional ship. You can't have people pick and choose in when they want to do stuff.
That's right. So Nurse Chapel is not helping. In fact,
Nurse Chapel ain't happening.
Probably just trying to break him up.
Oh, that's what it was.
Oh,
she's trying to get Spock to put himself in a bad position career-wise, so that way he has to leave T'Pring, and then boom, Nurse Chapel slides in.
She swoops.
Look at the swoop. She ready.
Ready to swoop.
So here we see T'Pring and Spock do a body swap, and it is very much not a logical activity. I don't even understand how they would ever think they were logical.
De gem nen krompush.
So how de gem nen falpush.
It's Survalum.
So clearly, so some ritual stuff and Vulcan stuff in language, and then the candles go out.
Yeah, it's a drafty room.
Yeah, like suddenly drafty room, all of a sudden like just turns on right when they do this ritual stuff. This is magic, right? Like even before they do the body swap, they got to realize that these candles going out, like they didn't do anything. Like why did the candles turn off?
Okay, maybe he has a fan toggle in his ass cheeks, and he clenches, and it turns on a fan, and T'Pring's like, "Whoa, this actually works." Whoa.
Maybe, why would it be a fan toggle? Just say he has fart control. And he just bent the curve like across the room.
Oh my god! Maybe Vulcan farts are high pressure, and he arranged the geometry of the room to get that flow deflected.
And T'Pring's like, this is a human room. This doesn't seem right. He's like, I've calculated all the geometries. Okay, let's see a little bit more of this body swap.
Something is wrong. Things have not returned to as they should be. The effects of the ritual have not dissipated. We have apparently switched bodies.
The gem.
Super fun. I love a body swap. Super fun. Freaky Friday. Fun feeling after the previous episode with the Gorn's tension. But this is not logical. This is and for Vulcans to be doing this like magic. This is magic stuff. And they're like, we're logical. We're not emotional. But then you also have logic going on at the same time. This is like if Europe went through the Enlightenment but they also still believed in dragons. How do those two things mesh at the same time?
Yeah, it's even worse for Vulcans because they do this body swap. So like, body swapping is possible. But then they do no scientific or logical inquiry into how the mechanisms of it might even work. They're just like, it works, done. Like, don't they want to know the logic behind it?
That's right. They don't even apply scientific method to see if they can redo it with other Vulcans or, I don't know, figure it out.
Or like, yeah, I mean, just to understand how this is happening, because it could answer questions about consciousness, it can answer questions about how the brain works, it can answer questions about the soul, or like all these questions that somebody may have. This could lead to answers if this is possible. And they're just happy having it sit as unknown magic. That's weird for Vulcans.
And they explain it kind of to Pike.
We have switch bodies. We seem unable to switch back.
Get out of town.
We are not in a town.
You guys did a body swap, like your minds are in each other's.
That is correct. I am Spock.
And I am to Pring. We have
So they explain it to Pike, and he's incredulous because he's human without magic powers, and so he's man of science in Starfleet. And then there's these Vulcans who are supposed to be a culture of logic and science, but then they're just entertaining this magic stuff. And so my question is, are they elves? Are they elves? Look at these pointy ears. And they're tall. Are they elves? And they're elves with magic powers. And they have this logic society because they don't want the rest of the Federation to know that they have magic spells.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So they literally look like space elves.
Yes.
And then they have a bunch of magic that they don't understand inside their culture that makes them superior to others.
Yep.
But then they don't want anyone else to figure it out through scientific inquiry. Right. So they present this front of logic.
Strong front, logic, that's it. Logic, science, that's it.
Logic, yeah. And so basically they have hidden lore inside their society.
Yep.
That they don't tell anyone else. Which then creates an air of bigotry and superiority that we see in this episode.
Like an example, they do the Vulcan neck pinch, pinchy, and everyone passes out. But they do it it's cross species. Like they do it on species that they've never encountered before. May have different nerves. Like what are you pinching? Are they just casting withering grasp? Like withering grasp, but like pinch you, and people are passing out. And then when people are like, "Wow, how'd you do that?" And he's like, "Oh, it's the Vulcan technique, martial arts or something." Like, no, it's magic. You're doing magic.
I see it. They're doing magic. They're space elves.
Confirmed. You heard it. You heard it here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Vulcans are space elves.
So the crew does Enterprise Bingo, and La'an and Unachin Riley want to get closer to the crew, so they partake in Enterprise Bingo.
What the hell is Enterprise Bingo? Not a clue.
Not a clue. Well, they have a checklist.
Yep.
So let's see what it is. First conceptually, what is Enterprise Bingo?
Well, it's the crew. They're like young ensigns and stuff, and they want to break the rules a little bit without causing too much fuss. So they do these like dares for one another, and they made a list of all the dares they should do.
That's super fun.
Yeah.
So the first one is use a transporter to reflavor gum.
That's kind of cool.
So like chew, out of flavor, then you teleport yourself somewhere else and come back. And since the transporter has a program for flavor profile, then it reflavors gum. Super fun.
Yep. Yeah.
Phaser stun duel. So go to low power and shoot each other.
That's so dangerous. We'll see that later, but that's so dangerous. What the heck?
Turbo lift 2-floor shout-out challenge. Yeah, okay, I get that. That's fun. Because if you give the computer 2 commands at once, what does it do?
Yep.
Set the universal translator to Andorian? Why is that a thing?
Shouldn't it always be set to the language of the person who is receiving the message?
Oh, okay, I see it. So they're defaulting to the universal translator takes whatever sounds are coming in, and then it translates it to the default human ship English, right? But then when an ambassador comes in from whatever planet, the translator auto translate to Andorian, and then the Starfleet officer is like, what are you saying to me?
But the universal translator is smart enough to do all these translations, but then not smart enough to be like, that's an English speaker, that's an Andorian speaker, that's a Vulcan speaker, and just present the proper language. Like you set it to Andorian and it stupidly translates to Andorian.
Default. Yeah.
Like, what the heck?
And in fact, I guess what I would do is in everybody's communicator badge, it has a little like, tell me stuff in English, tell me stuff in Klingon. That would be smooth.
Yeah. Yeah. Gravity boot hang challenge. What, hang from the ceiling?
That's you can do that here on Earth. What's that about?
Well, not with you don't have. Would you have gravity boots?
Well, I mean, you have like for back patients and for people that want to do inverted ab crunches, you like have a bar. You put on these boots that have hooks on them, and then you hang upside down like a bat.
Okay.
You can do that here on Earth.
I don't know why it's a challenge. Don't you just get on the ceiling and then put your boots on the ceiling, turn them on, and then let yourself go? How's that challenging? I don't get it.
I don't know. I don't know what this is.
Okay.
Whatever. Medical tricorder challenge. Vulcan marsupial. What's a marsupial?
Okay. I don't know.
No, I want marsupial.
Maybe do.
What?
Maybe do.
Marsupial. Maybe let's add Vulcan to it.
Hello.
Other people asking. I've actually had durian. It doesn't taste as bad as. Wait, no. This is the whole list. Vulcan marsupial, but it's written as marsupial. Okay.
Oh, they misspelled it. God, Enterprise crew.
It's gone through a bunch of people too, and no one's caught it. Vulcan marsupial. Vulcan marsupial was an animal native to Vulcan. When the doctor from USS Voyager was trying to find a cure for Dr. Louis Zimmerman's illness, the hollow engineer manipulated the doctor's tricorder so that it would display a mitochondrial scan of a Vulcan marsupial. Okay.
So it's an animal. Okay.
Sure. I don't know what that means for the medical tricorder challenge.
Maybe they're particularly, I don't know, aggressive animals, and so you gotta like get near the cage and scan it.
Is there a Vulcan marsupial on the Enterprise?
Maybe. I mean,
okay.
Maybe.
Sure. I don't know. Sure, whatever.
Yeah.
Food replicator challenge, durian fruit. I mean, that's just a fruit. That's just like a normal fruit, although it's stinky.
Yeah. That's also like just an eat stuff challenge, kind of lame.
Although, I mean, have you had it?
Nope.
It's smooth and creamy, but it smells like something died.
Oh. Okay.
It's like outlawed in hotels in Malaysia. You can't bring it in.
Sense.
Really bad smell.
Mm-hmm.
Sneak a tribble into the transporter. Oh boy.
Okay. Wait, aren't tribbles like they replicate really fast and can become a danger to the ship?
Yep.
So even having one on the ship, that means you're like breaking some kind of quarantine. That's really bad.
Enterprise bingo.
Yeah.
Sit in the captain's chair. Oh, that's cool. That's super cool. Because an ensign, like, what are you doing there? Like, I just want to sit here just for a minute. Like,
just for a second, yeah. What is fun? EV suit challenge, unsanctioned spacewalk. What? That's super dangerous. That means like the safety crews and the rescue crews have no idea you're out there if there's an emergency. They're like, what the?
What if the captain's like? What if the captain gets a mission, a little direction from command? And they're like, go to warp, and you're outside.
That's right. Or you're like, we need to do a mission outside. Get in your suits. Go. Where are the suits? What is going on?
Yeah. We got 2 ensigns somewhere outside. We got 2 cadets. Where are they? Like, I don't know. Okay, but also at the same time, that is the excitement of it. Like, nobody knows that I'm out here. I'm doing something unofficial. Because if it was official, they probably would have told me no.
But the person who mistimes that is going to get in serious trouble.
Don't fuck it up.
It'll happen.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Last one. Sign the Scorch.
Yeah. I would do those last 2 at the same time.
I think so.
Yeah. Enterprise bingo. And one of the Enterprise bingos is shoot each other with your phasers on a lowest setting. This is so dangerous. These are weapons of war.
Lowest setting. Ready? Aim.
Wait.
Lowest.
It seems fine. She got stunned a little bit, and she's like, "Ow!" And not even like a ow.
Okay. First, like a principle in gun safety is treat a gun as always loaded, even if it's not.
That's true.
So you never mess it up.
Yep.
So here they have these weapons that can literally vaporize people, and they're treating them like they're toys. That's creating a culture of like being lackadaisical with something that can kill you.
That's
also,
true.
she almost hit her in the face.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So stun to skeletal musculature may be okay, but stun to the eyes, like eyes are sensitive.
Eyes are
You're
sensitive.
blind or something. Yep.
Yeah. So probably head is off limits even on stun if you can, you know, like let's the rubber bullet challenge. Like
oh yeah, rubber bullets to the eyes. Yeah, you're blind, like permanently blind. Yeah.
Permanently blind. So, but it's non-lethal. I didn't know. Like,
yeah. Well, I guess you're not blind. You just lose that eye. So, provided you haven't done it twice, then okay. But still, like depth perception stuff.
Yeah.
So I guess you could do one of these, like, you know, what was it? It was the something 2 fighters. So they had these masks on. And they were like back to back. Army of 2. Yeah.
Army of 2.
You could have these like masks on as long as there's like super narrow slits. It's probably okay with the stun.
Mm-hmm. It's still creating a culture of like not taking weapons seriously, firing weapons on the ship. And what if something actually went down and people are like, they're not disciplined with their hardware anymore because of Enterprise Bingo? I think this is terrible. I don't like it.
That's fun though. I guess this predates any holodeck. So on the holodeck, okay, do fun. Oh, that's still bad practice. Because if you know on the holodeck we can shoot each other and it's okay, then if you're ever in a situation where you're like in actual combat, you now have these 2 conflicting thoughts in your mind. It's not as easy as being like switching it off. Really should just take it seriously.
Yeah. So this one I think is the worst. I mean, okay, the EVA one is the worst. Enterprise Bingo, unsanctioned EVAs really create a danger for the ship. This is confined to the ship. That's okay, but it could kill somebody. Somebody who accidentally puts on the wrong setting. They do it drunk. Now they've got real problems.
But it is as close as you can get to doing a duel, like a test of reflexes, but with as long as nobody actually gets hurt, okay, right? You know this like finger rubber band thing, like finger rubber band.
Yeah.
I've seen those go bad. I'm contradicting myself. Yeah, I was gonna say that the finger rubber band, you like hook a rubber band around your finger and you treat it like a gun. Like that's fun. But then I've seen people get it like on their eyelid, like that, and then we're like, no more of this, never again.
Yeah.
Like, we're like,
never again. Yeah.
Yep. And we stuck true to it, like never again. That was pretty risky.
Yeah, super risky.
But Mbenga on his R&R on his day off, he goes fishing and he has these lures on his hat, and I don't know why he does this. Like it's cool, and he does the look. I looked it up, and it's often fly fishermen, but it seems like an unnecessary risk. So here, there's no hook, but you saw him there. So I guess this is the string, and this is not a hook. It's like it's kind of like a safety pin, but it's blunt here. It's just to connect this thing, which is the actual lure, the actual thing that draws the fish in. And here, pointy stuff.
Okay.
So if he's putting this stuff on his hat, isn't that dangerous? Like, what if there's a pointy thing that happened to be, it's somewhere else, but what if the pointy hook part was here? Like, that's at eye level.
So he's thinking, I'm going to wear the gear because it's fun and I'm going to go have fun fishing. But actually, he's got dangly hooks near his eyes.
Right. Or even if he's like, okay, no dangly hooks near the eyes, I'm going to put them up here. Well, what if he goes to scratch his head and now he got a hook in his hand? Like, I wanted to go fishing, but now I have to deal with this possible infection problem. Or even if it's not on his head, he like throws it in his bag, throws it on his couch or whatever, and he's like, there's my hat. I'm ready to go out the door. And then he grabs it the wrong way, and now he's got a hook in his hand.
You're saying this is a safety issue. What do fly fishermen do when they have them on their hats?
Okay, so I looked it up. I was like, why do people do this? And so it seems to be that mostly fly fishermen, and they do this because when they're in the river and there's different fish like different types of bait, so that they can do this quick swapping. But that means that their baits, their lures, definitely for sure have the hooks built into them. To your question, what do? I just be careful, I guess.
Okay. So since he's not an expert fly fisherman, he's like, ow, ow, all the time.
It's like, not worth it. What are we doing here? Right?
Looks cool though.
Looks cool. He's got the look down.
Yeah. What activity do you think he's doing? It's fishing.
Fishing.
He's even got the vest.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, seems like it'd be a good time to hang out.
Yeah.
But also, I don't know. Maybe I'll just bring a tackle box.
Right.
Maybe fishermen can tell us why it's done. Why it makes sense. What does not make sense is this insult. But this is the criminal guy, right?
That's the criminal guy from Vulcan.
He makes an insult to Chapel. It doesn't make sense to me.
Humans evolved from apes, did they not? You've kept many of their charming qualities, it would seem.
Stop insulting my companion.
So this doesn't make sense as an insult because he's attacking her, saying that she's not sufficiently evolved.
Mm-hmm.
But on the first layer, it's like, yeah, we came from apes. Like apes have 4 limbs. Like, oh, so you seem to still have 4 limbs. Like, well, yeah, we came from them. Why is that an insult?
Yeah. So it's like we know evolution works. Vulcan is probably subject to. Vulcan's probably the end point of evolution, and so are we. So the insult is, you evolved from a lesser form. Like, yeah, that's how evolution works. Like we had to.
Right. It's like, you guys still have lungs, and so did your ancestors. You have lungs too. Like, well, yeah, that's how it works. And also, like, there's from single-celled mitochondria up to multi-celled, up to apes, up to humans.
Yeah.
He's choosing like a random spot and be like, oh, you're better than that thing was. Like, well, yeah, like chose a random spot.
Yeah, so it's like if the insult was towards Vulcans and Vulcans evolved from Vulcan rodents, you're like, didn't Vulcans evolve from Vulcan rodents?
Looks like you still have 4 limbs too.
Yeah, like you'd be like, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
And you brought up a good point there. So it's he's doing an insult from the Vulcan race. It's not like Vulcans and humans came from the same tree, and then and humans were a lesser form. Like you're a separate planet. You're a separate species. Like you have separate evolutionary trees. It's not comparable. It's not like I'm ahead of you. We're just completely separate. How is this an insult?
It doesn't make sense. I don't understand it. He's just a bigot.
The only insulting part is his tone, and the tone is bigotry. It's like, your race is bad, blur blur.
Right.
But it's not
you
an actual
evolved
insult.
Yeah, you evolved from something that I don't like. Therefore, I don't like you. Okay.
I can't help what I evolved from. What?
What do you want from me?
Why is it illogical? Vulcans are purely illogic, blah, 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 blah. But then there's an emotional attack with no logic behind it.
Unless it's a logic that we can't see, and humans really are not that good. Kind of lesser.
Because we don't have magic powers.
Yeah, otherwise they'd be kicked out of the Federation, right? Humans. I know they're a founding member, but I mean, otherwise the Vulcans would be kicked out of the Federation for bigotry. If the bigotry is logical, though, then they stay.
That's right. I see what you're saying. So they have this race-based bigotry, but it's right. It's not just being hateful. Like, they're actually correctly logical and just saying factual stuff.
They brought in the data about humans. They brought in the data about Vulcans. They did an assessment through their superior logic and determined the Vulcans are superior. It's not bigotry. It's just facts.
Just facts. Oof. Bigotry is okay as long as it's right.
This is the end of the episode. They're La'an and Unich and Riley are doing Enterprise Bingo. They go sign the Scorch, which is the oldest panel on the Enterprise. That's a problem.
Is that the Scorch?
The oldest, unreplaced piece of the Enterprise's hull. Supposed to be good luck to sign it.
Why is it a problem? You're saying
damaged.
it's a problem that they're out there?
No. Well, okay, that's a problem. But it's clearly damaged. What if they got into a battle, shields are getting low, something gets through, hits this, and now the hull is breached? Because replace this panel. This is armor, right?
I see what you're saying. Like, why? Yeah, so clearly damaged.
Yeah.
And why not just replace this with a new panel? Because if shit really hits the fan, we don't want this to be the critical failure on the ship. You got an air breach, now you got a problem.
Right. And from what we know about like helmets, like even if the helmet doesn't, if you get into an accident and the helmet doesn't externally look damaged, it could be internally damaged.
Yep.
And so always replace the helmet after a single accident.
Yep.
But here it's externally visibly damaged. So it's got external damage and definitely internal damage because it's deep.
Deep.
So replace the panel. What if there's a problem? What if there's a battle? What if there's, shields go down? What if they have a ramming? This could cause the death of hundreds.
Gosh,
what are we doing?
And the Enterprise does not always have shields on, right?
That's right.
Like they get into a situation, they turn the shields on, which means most of the time shields are off. And so then these external panels on the Starship Enterprise, it's getting bombarded by cosmic rays all the time.
That's right.
Like, this stuff is like slowly degrading over time, which means you should just replace it.
Just replace it. I know it's cool, but like take the Scorch out, throw it in a museum or something, or just throw it away. Who cares? Replace it. Like, what are we doing? This is
store it inside the Enterprise.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Oh, you put it in the captain's ready room, and then now it's an Enterprise bingo to sneak into the ready room and sign it.
Right, and if you get caught, you lose.
You lose and are demoted. Yeah, should we just replace this thing?
Let's replace this thing.
Wait,
look at the location.
It's right in the front of the ship too.
I think in the episode they say they have like a shield bubble. They extended the shields around them and then filled the bubble with atmosphere.
Oh.
So they can walk on the outside of the ship without a spacesuit. It would feel weird to not have that protection, but technologically seems fine.
As long as there's no power problems, then okay.
Gosh, lost power, dead.
Dead. Yeah, try explaining that to I guess no one, right? Because they're the first officer and second officer. So
yeah, they have a momentary lapse of power, Pike, and then they die. Pike comes back. Where's the first officer? Where's chief of security? They're like, we don't know. Wait, where are they? They're floating out in
floating
space.
out the window.
What?
But they're not going to have any power problems because there's no Hammer in this episode. Should be okay. He's the one that's always like, I'm going to divert power. Like, okay, Hammer.
Yeah, exactly. All right, that's it. That was season 1, episode 5. See you guys next time.